It is a Tuesday. We've got weather to talk about, but pretty mild weather. So the next couple of days, we're going to continue with this pattern, which you notice outside is kind of cool. I even have a little jacket on today. It's kind of mild around the Bay Area, cloudy along the coast, slowly clearing inland. Temperatures today will be very similar to yesterday. It'll warm a little bit tomorrow, and then the increase in temperatures comes towards the weekend. Not a heat wave, just warmer than it has been. This is the Park Fire. This is up just kind of outside of Red Bluff. I was driving up last Friday, and this is right when it took off. So I looked up there, and it's very similar to the Paradise Fire all those years ago, a few years ago when I was up there for that too. But the plume and just driving into the smoke, and it grew rapidly. This area hasn't burned in a long time. It's an odd area. I know it well from Paradise to Mount Lassen. Very sparsely populated, which is really good news, but has not burned in decades. And so what we're seeing here, especially with that explosive growth, is that areas that haven't been maintained have a tendency to want to burn. And so a couple of the good things going on here, there is some beneficial fire behavior going on at the Park Fire, which we're seeing on the western flank as it burns down into the oaks and the grassland. The upside, the east side, the north side, that they're actively fighting that, and there are actively hot spots there. But I'm just trying to, just pointing out that these areas that haven't burned in a while, they take off. Conditions have been great for firefighters, are going to continue to be good for firefighters the next day and a half. And then by tomorrow afternoon, humidity's drop, temperatures come up, and we're back into the mid 90s. We're back into teens for relative humidity, fuel moisture in the teens, maybe even less. And that'll make firefighting more difficult, especially on that eastern flank. So we will keep an eye on that the next couple of days. The fire zone, you can see here. Let's see if I can zoom in here. There we go. This area, there's the smoke. And the smoke has really been avoiding the Bay Area nicely. So this is the visible satellite map. If we look at the fog along the coast, you can see there's a big, that's what I was talking about, so I got a jacket on, because all that fog, right? The marine layer's deep, the fog's pushed inland. But the takeaway on this, when I look at the visible satellite from this is about 11 o'clock this morning or so, this visible satellite is pretty smoke-free, even in Southern California. And we haven't seen that in a while. In other words, there's smoke there, but the rest of the state, not doing too bad. So very fortunate in that we're not seeing really horrible air quality as we have seen much of this summer because of fires. This is the Park Fire. The hot edges are here. You can see them, the orange area. These are the areas that are actively burning on the eastern flank. That's the uphill side. It's burning up into the hills. More, what do you call them? Larger fuel, slower burning, hotter burning. It's not grassland like on the western flank, but on the eastern flank, this is, you're getting into fuels that are much more aggressive in terms of fighting fires. They're oaks, they're pines. So this area is still hot and going on. You can see the fire burn zone. That is all the red. And you notice there's not a lot of hot spots down towards Paradise or Chico or Forest Ranch. So that's good news, right? So those areas are really, again, a lot of friends in Paradise watching this fire across the canyon, because it's right across the Butte Creek Canyon from where a lot of folks are on Valley View Drive, which is where we got just rooted out during the Paradise, the campfire. Okay, let's take a look at the firefighting efforts. I like this is watchduty.org because we can look at the firefighting efforts. This is this morning, and you smoke it does look pretty aggressive this morning. The smoke settles down in the mornings, and then it lifts in the afternoon, and you see it starting to lift now. And when it lifts, the fire breathes and starts going. So this is in that zone that's still hot and burning, a little south of that zone, but still hot and burning. If you were to go behind me here, you would be looking at Paradise, Butte Creek Canyon. Okay, there's the smoke from the fire. These are smoke forecasts, which I love. And you can see a little bit of smoke out around Fresno. This is over the next day or so. But you can see, and you can look at the whole national area for smoke. And, I used to, when I was a kid, I was like, who gives a heck about smoke, right? Whatever, right? But what I've learned as I've gotten older is it impacts impacts everybody, first of all. But secondly, it impacts a lot of folks. Somebody I was talking to with asthma yesterday at work, and they were telling me how much it really does impact them, just even moderate levels of smoke. And so most of us don't have that issue, but many do. especially elderly, young, and people with pre-existing conditions. So smoke, a big deal. This is the surface map. Here's the fire zone. Let's see if I point it in here. So there's Red Bluff right there. The fire zone is sort of kind of up in here. And what we're seeing, let's just grab a couple sites. So it's 80 degrees. I'm just going to the observations. So in the fire zone at Inks Creek, we've got 80-degree temperature, 39% RH, relative humidity. So that's not bad. Winds are west at 8 miles an hour. Not bad either. I mean, you could have way worse firefighting conditions. And so that's kind of what my point is that the last couple of days, they're drawing some really strong fire lines on the park fire, especially on the eastern flank, in preparation for the heat that's going to come on essentially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe a little bit into the weekend. So purple air, which we all like to use for air quality. You can see the air quality, again, mimicking what I'm talking about in terms of smoke in the state. It's not bad. Some of these anomalous, I'm not sure about these anomalous readings. I should look further into these, but some of these reds, right? This area in San Jose surrounded by the 163, but surrounded by 6. So these are green, if you will, if you want to simplify it. So that indicates that's anomalous. I would probably throw that out. These back at the beach now, we've got some clouds, some fog. The marine layer is going to start shrinking down. Starts today, not a ton. There'll be fog tomorrow morning, on Wednesday morning, and then a little bit on Thursday morning, but it's not going to get as far inland. So it's going to get a little bit clipped each day as we go into the warming trend, which is the end of this week. For the Bay Area, it's essentially Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This spot I love, this is Halama at the tip of Point Conception. Let's go ahead and play it up there. Yeah, so that's a live camera shot. You probably see somebody out there surfing. It's really small right now, but this is, if you look to the north, you're kind of looking towards Diablo Canyon, up by the nuclear power plant, up around that point. And then the camera's panning just in time for us. But it's a neat little campground, and I think the thing that's cool about Halama is it's at the tip of Point Conception. So when the whales move, or if you the whales just alone, but there's a lot of activity out there: whales, sharks, fish, sea life, a lot of activity. So it's a really awesome place to go, and it's a great campground there too. It's not always easy to get. Summertime's hard to get, but I think the wintertime's the best time to go. Here are the 5-day lookout, or the 4 outlook. And you can see it got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in here. This is an older one, but it holds water basically. Temperatures are going to mimic these, so nothing extreme in the Bay Area the next couple of days.